What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant. No hate. I want to talk about Joseph Parker for a little bit. And I don't know if any of you guys been really paying attention to this, but now the build up to Day of Reckoning, the majority of the talk, even from the first night of the press conference, people were more concerned about talking about a possible future fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder more than they were talking about the actual opponents that each guy was going to fight at Day of Reckoning. Now, that being said, Joseph Parker's opponent ended up being Deontay Wilder. I told you guys before, and you know that the initial opponent for Parker was supposed to be Zhang. Now, I just watched an interview with Parker earlier, and Parker basically said that his team reached out to Zhang and they never really got any answers back. Now, Zhang, I don't know how he views Joseph Parker, but he definitely wanted a bigger name, a bigger fight. So he pretty much was talking about a rematch with Anthony Joshua. We already know AJ's fighting Ngannou. So the same way how AJ's fighting Ngannou, because, well, I guess the Saudis see that as a bigger fight. I would personally rather see AJ versus Zhang or a Parker rematch. But I told you guys, the Saudis wasn't interested in AJ versus Parker. Now that can change. Just like, for example, Wilder versus AJ is a dead fight. If AJ moves forward, if Wilder can come back with a big win, then the interest can be right back to that. Okay? Now, when I told you guys, now think about it. Wilder wasn't even the first choice for Parker. So we don't know who exactly they would have wanted to match Wilder up with outside of Parker, because that's who he ended up fighting, and there was no talks about anybody else. But Joseph Parker wasn't seen as a real threat. That's the point. The same way they thought Wilder was going to run through him, right? He was meant to be a sacrificial lamb for Wilder. Well, the thing is, there is respect on Parker's name, and the fact that he's been busy and looked good in his last fight. So a Zhang fight, because Zhang actually got injured. At least that's what they're saying, that he was injured. Now he's wanting to fight AJ, but at the time he wasn't available. So Zhang is hot right now. Joe Joyce put a bad beating on Joseph Parker. Zhang put a bad beating on Joe Joyce twice. So the same way, even if it was, Parker's people were reaching out to Zhang, the Saudis wanted it. So either way, let's say even the Saudis would say, we want you to fight Zhang. And let's just say if it was a thing of, well, yeah, have your people reach out to see if we can make that happen, right? Okay, however, Parker pretty much is seen the same way. He was supposed to be food for Zhang. Okay, but that fight didn't happen. But I'm listening to Parker, and I like his attitude, because Parker is saying he wants to fight whoever they have for him. He said he wants the Joe Joyce rematch, whether it's March, April, whatever. He's ready. He'll be ready, and he wants that fight as well. Okay, he wants the Zhang fight. He wants to fight AJ. Okay. This is part of why when I hear fighters say certain things, you can assume and you can be wrong, but you know when you just get that gut feeling about something that you and every time you feel something, whatever you're thinking, that outcome is what happens. Well, here's the thing about a broken fighter versus a fighter that just lost a fight, because we all as human beings can feel some kind of way. But Joseph Parker is not talking about I need 2 or 3 warm-up fights or disappearing, hiding, taking a year off, 2 years off. He has had those little stints where he wasn't being really active. And I believe that hurt him as well, because I said you have to be in there. Like when you lose a fight, it's not the end of the world. You got to get over that shit, man, and just go forward. Joseph Parker, as bad as he got beat up by Joe Joyce, he wants that rematch. He lost to Anthony Joshua. He wants that rematch. Okay? AJ beat Joseph Parker. Joe Joyce beat Parker up bad. Like he beat him down. AJ outboxed him, outclassed him. Joyce just beat the shit out of him. Now, for Joe Joyce, for Joseph Parker, he's still not being treated like a former champion and like a main eventer. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. Just think about it. Because even though he beat Deontay Wilder, the Saudis already showed interest in Wilder versus Zhang. So the loser of Parker versus Wilder ends up getting a contract. You understand? Have interest shown in them to fight against Zhang. Not the winner. Joseph Parker right now is still waiting for a challenger. You understand? They're not treating him like, okay, before the Wilder fight, okay, him being picked as an opponent. Again, he was fooled either way. Either way, he was fooled for Wilder. He was fooled for Zhang. Either way. He proved himself. He beats Wilder. Yet, he doesn't have a fight on that card yet. You understand? AJ's locked in with Ngannou. Zhang has signed the contract. Wilder hasn't. Joseph Parker hasn't even been spoken to yet. Okay? This is how, when I'm telling you, when I said Parker is not getting treated like a former world champion. He's not getting that same type of treatment. So even in defeat, there's still an interest with Wilder. Now, I don't know what the deal was with Parker and the Saudis, but we know Wilder said he has a pretty lucrative deal with them. So, even if it's them honoring that, still in all, he got his ass whooped. And he got beat up soundly, lost every round. But the loser, okay, is offered a fight before the winner. You understand what I mean? So, and he looked good in the fight. This wasn't even, it could have went either way type of fight. No, he dominated. So, that being said, for all of the rumors, because I've seen several video like thumbnails where it's confirmed Parker versus Dubois. It's confirmed Parker versus Andy Ruiz. It's confirmed, So Parker's going to fight everybody the same night. And then, when you do your research, no, you don't see it anywhere except for certain channels making these claims. Clickbait nonsense. Now, it's one thing to say this is the fight I would like to see, but to say it's confirmed just to find out that it's a lie or it's just a fight that you want to see, that's nonsense. Now, for Joseph Parker, we can look at this. And he had nothing negative to say about Wilder. He had nothing negative to say about AJ. Okay, and this video isn't about Wilder. It's not about AJ. But see, this is where I say, when you have somebody telling you that such and such is a good dude, but that good dude does a lot of dirty shit. Right? Think about it. Here's a fighter in AJ who has had so many people talk shit, but he proved everybody wrong. He bounced back like a champion supposed to, and made no excuses about anything, and stayed humble. And you don't hear him talking no shit. He's just back in training. He's not focused on jumping in front of a camera. He's not bashing anyone. He's doing what he's doing. Yet you have fanboy channels making up lies and creating narratives and shit, saying this was this and he was feeling this way. He was glad I lost. Joseph Parker, right? Who Wilder says is a great guy outside the ring. He has respect for Parker and all that. He likes Parker as a person. Gave him some half-ass credit after the fight. You know, remember, he didn't say he was landing good shots on me, nothing like that. He said he did a good job avoiding and ducking my punches, as if like he was just being defensive and not fighting. No, Parker was throwing far more punches and he was the one pushing the fight. But even in that, right, Parker still isn't talking shit. And he very well could have, just for the fact that Wilder made the comments that he's disappointed because he knows Parker has no business beating him, not even on his most magnificent day, right? Parker still isn't talking shit. You understand what I'm saying? He's just ready for the next fight. So for Parker to be in a position where people was doubting Parker as well, and I clearly stated that Parker just wasn't the same fighter. That he basically just, like, his skills are deteriorating, man. Like, he's not evolving. And when I'm watching him, I'm telling you, it's still the same Parker. I can see it in his style. I'm just, like I told you, Wilder is just not enough to test him. He fought completely wrong, fighting on the back foot. You pride yourself in getting knockouts. And the style you fought was all wrong, right? So we get that. But for Parker, okay, now I'm interested to see who they're going to put in there with Parker. Will it be Andy Ruiz? You know, will it be Joe Joyce? So this is what I'm interested in seeing now, because for Wilder, all he has to do is sign a contract, and then we know that he's in the fight with Zhang. So this is where I'm saying, for someone to defeat you, the only reason you do not rematch that person is because you do not have confidence that you can beat them. I don't give a fuck if it's physical or mental state or whatever it is. You're not confident that you can beat that person. Okay, once again, Sugar Shane Mosley got beat the fuck up by Vernon Forrest in that first fight. Shane didn't go have a light touch or what, no. He jumped right back in there and rematched him. He lost, but he did better in the rematch. And he did the same thing with Winky Wright. He got beat, but did better in the rematch, but he got right back in it. Now, it's not always wise to do that. Like, if you are doubting yourself, if you haven't improved, you're still the same fighter, and the things that you need to add to your arsenal is not there, to know. You need to make sure, and your trainers, that's their job, to make sure that they help you get to it. No, you are a better fighter. You're not making the same mistakes. You're not going to go in there and have a repeat of what happened. So it's one thing to get good enough to do better. You know, hell, AJ did better in the rematch against Usyk than he did in the first fight, but he still came up short. You understand what I'm saying? So to get back, so now if you look at AJ, people are saying, yo, I think this AJ beats Usyk. Well, we won't know until they fight, right? But the bottom line is, you know, the point of wanting the rematch. Again, I have to use Jermell Charlo, for example. Jermell Charlo did not exercise his rematch clause against Canelo, and he could have. Simply because he didn't want that smoke. He knows he can't beat Canelo. He's not confident that he can beat Canelo. But what did he say at the post conference? I still think I'm the best fighter in the world. So yeah, being delusional is something that a lot of fighters have. You went there, you know, if your confidence, okay, is matched your words, then you would have fought way better than you did. Even if you still would have lost, you would have actually put up a fight, and we would have been saying, "Yo, that was a good fight. That was one hell of a fight." Versus this dude went there and choked. He was scared because that's what happened. How could you possibly think you're the best fighter in the world when here you are now in the biggest fight of your career, and you don't even try? You got scared from something you felt from the very first round and decided, nope, I'm just gonna stay in this defensive shell, throw little scary punches here and there, just try to create some space, and maybe I might get lucky and land something. And it looked like, maybe he was scared to hit him hard because he was trying to, hoping, man, if I hit him hard, he's gonna hit me back hard. Who knows? He was scared, bottom line. So to say I still think I'm the best fighter in the world, nah, best fighter in the world. Solid fighter. I always liked Jermell Charlo as a fighter. But bottom line, his words and his actions don't add up. So saying what you are versus showing it, two different things. So, and like Joseph Parker said, he thinks he's a better fighter, that he's improved, right? He said he's not the same Parker that fought Joe Joyce. But what did he say? The only way we're going to know is when we fight. You got to respect that. And that's how I always say, you never know what's going to happen fight night. We can all have our predictions. We can feel strong about the certain outcome of certain fights. But at the end of the day, the point is the fighters wanting to fight, wanting to get in there and show, this is what I bring to the table. Let's see if what you have can beat mine. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And that's why Zhang is telling Wilder, when he's saying, don't overthink it, man. Let's just make the fight happen. And he signed already. So Joseph Parker, who beat Wilder, is still trying to find a fight. So do you understand? Now, Joseph Parker, whoever they give him, and hopefully if he get like Ruiz, if he beats Ruiz again, we talking two former champions, okay? And if he beats him convincingly, especially, then now, again, he has a history with AJ, and then people might, more than likely will start to show more of an interest in, okay, that might be interesting, the rematch between him and AJ, because that's the point. That's how a fight grow, and that's how matchups become more intriguing, because you can see that this fighter has gotten better. I think he's ready now. You understand what I mean? Like, just say, for example, Anthony Joshua completely shut out Jermaine Franklin, but people criticized the way he fought. He went in there because he had a bloody nose when he fought Robert Helenius, knocked him out in the 8th round with the one punch. But people were, oh man, Wilder knocked him out in 1 round, right? So people already was making this judgment, he can't beat Wilder. Even people like Tony Bellew, who want to see AJ beat Wilder, is cool with AJ, but was scared for him. And I'm like, no, he needs to get in there and fight. Plain and simple. Staying out in the ring is not going to help him. He's not going to get sharp by sitting home sulking. He needs to be in there training, and he needs to be in there fighting. You see what hard work does. Sometimes it takes the right person. And whatever he picked up with Derek James, and then took over there with Ben Davison, and yeah, like he said, it just clicked, and he gets it now. So now, just like that, AJ goes from being, oh man, he's done, he's finished, he'll never be the same, to he's the hottest heavyweight out there right now. Wilder ends up going from having people saying he'll destroy him and knock him out and all this, and to, damn man, AJ knocks Wilder out now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Joseph Parker, same thing. What he did with Wilder, the fact that people were so sure Wilder was going to knock him out, and that didn't happen, it's like, well, damn. They probably feel like, damn, man, you the reason why the fight is not happening with AJ and Wilder, So yeah, he's not being treated like the way he should, put it like that. So hopefully he get a good opponent that he can, and like understand something too. Let me make a comparison. See, he just beat Wilder. So Parker's in a position where if he can get Andy Ruiz, great. If he can get the Joyce rematch, great. Now, of course, if he beat them, then hey, that's everything. I'm wondering if Wilder don't fight Zhang, and hopefully for his sake, for him to show that pride, that dignity, man, like that warrior spirit he keeps talking about, that he takes the fight. But if he doesn't, maybe now you'll get Zhang versus Parker. But where did that leave Wilder? Because if you got Zhang and Parker, which are two of your opponents that I would like to see Wilder fight, rematch Parker or fight Zhang, okay? So that leaves who? Andy Ruiz or a Joe Joyce at that point, or a Daniel Dubois. So there's still options for Wilder, okay? But the top guys want to fight the top guys. Saying it is one thing. Actually doing it is something else. So looking at Joseph Parker's position right now, we don't know who it's going to be. But at the end, I don't know. And like guys like Caballel, I'm really not impressed with him, man, to be honest with you. Let's just say if they matched him up with Wilder and say Wilder knocked him out, I wouldn't be shocked. Caballel, he's slow, man, and he's there to be hit. He's okay, man. Nothing special. Point blank, period. If Wilder did go in there and knock him out, okay, what does that do for Wilder? Who the fuck is Caballel when we talk about the best of the best? You understand what I'm saying? So that's not the type of opponent that Wilder needs. And this is where, like, these morons are, they're trying to stack the deck against him. No, dummies. That's the type of opponents that he should be fighting. Now, the point of him not being able to make it competitive, for him to go in and look terrible, and if he can win in typical Wilder fashion, get out, box, and land a right hand, well, that's what he's been known for doing. But the problem is, the very top guys are the ones that's going to nullify that shit. You see, and this is what his fans and I gotta say him is afraid of, as well. I never had to do this with the PBC. Why are they forcing me to fight the top guys? It's like that's the mentality. So Joseph Parker is showing you, man, listen, I'm a fighter. Win, lose, or draw, I'm coming to fight. This is not scripted. Okay, unless a fight is fixed, you don't know what's going to happen. You're just showing up to do your job. And either you're going to win or you're going to lose. So for Joseph Parker to not have an opponent, look, he was in the co-main event and he won. So AJ and Parker, in all honesty, should have been the first two fighters that they wanted to secure a win with. But because they don't look at Parker the same way they look at AJ, they don't look at Parker the same way they look at Wilder, this is why. He doesn't have a fight yet. And the funny thing about it is, AJ did beat Parker. So if you're favoring AJ because he's the hot guy right now, okay, fine. But Parker beat Wilder. So why is Wilder Wilder or anybody else in that card being offered a spot, a fight before Parker? So the best thing that Parker can do is, no matter who they put him in there with, is win, if he can. Simple. Well, yeah, I just was thinking about that when I was listening to him talk, and I was just watching, and I said, wow, ain't that something? Because here's a man that won the co-main event, and he doesn't even have a fight. He's still trying to find a fight. And what he's doing smart, like you said, he's been still training, but he would like to know next week or two, so the training camp can be focused on that particular fighter, which makes all the sense in the world. Same question they asked Zhang. So, yeah, I really feel strongly that if Wilder don't take the fight, that's who they're gonna match Parker up with is Zhang. And basically though, Wilder's not helping himself if he don't take that fight. I mean, on one hand, I think Zhang beats the shit out of him. But at the same time, we won't know until the fight happens, right? But that's boxing, that's what you do. It's not about let me try to find an easy fight for him to try to make him look good. That's PBC bullshit. That's what they've been doing. It's bottom line, man. The best fighting the best. Only the strong gonna survive. Okay, the strongest will be the ones at the end going, I won. Raise my hand. Not like he did after the Parker fight, because we know damn well he didn't win that fight. But you know what I'm saying? Legitimately, you know, those who go in there and fight and earn their spot. That's just the way it goes. I would just suggest don't hire Tony Weeks to referee any one of those fights, because with his track record, there'll be some disappointment. Somebody will actually, have a fight stop because they ducked 10 punches. But yeah, Joseph Parker, y'all. Tell me what y'all think about Joseph Parker. In fact, who would y'all like to see Joseph Parker fight? And do y'all think, like what I'm saying, that if Wilder don't fight Zhang, that will be the fight that they will match him up with, especially being that that's initially who they wanted to match him up with was Zhang. So yeah, and it's funny because I don't know who they wanted to match Wilder up with initially, because there wasn't any talks about Wilder versus Anthony Joshua at this next event. There was no talks at all about that. That's not even what they brought up when they mentioned that before. Remember, that was when they were saying they was trying to make it AJ versus Wilder and Usyk versus Fury. And if you remember, they all said that the holdup. Remember, and that's why Wilder knows that that's bullshit what he's saying, because the word that everybody got back then from the Saudis, from different people involved, that the holdup was Fury. That AJ was in, Wilder said he was in, Usyk said he was in, Fury was the one holding the fight up. So that all got scrapped. And remember, I made videos saying AJ versus Wilder is a main event regardless. They don't even need Usyk and Fury on the card, so that could still happen. And pretty much, I do remember Eddie Hearn being asked about the situation, and he was saying, like, those fights didn't fall through for whatever reason. And then when they talked about Anthony Joshua fighting Wilder, AJ said he wants to fight. If you remember, AJ did a video and he's been interviewed, and he said, what's the purpose of me taking a lesser fight? Do you not remember him saying that? And he was saying, I don't believe in tune-ups, right? I don't want the tune-ups. And I'm saying the purpose of that is for you to fine-tune the thing that you're learning. You just went to a new trainer on top of that. So you need to fine-tune this shit. That's the shit you want to work on. And just like in the gym, when you're in a fight, okay, let me apply this in the fight, and now the confidence, the understanding, okay, I got you. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's the purpose of that. You don't have a title anymore, so you're not holding the division up. If you did take tune-up fights, and you have the best resume in the heavyweight division. I'm sure you guys that's been here remember me saying that. And so, in that being the case, well, Jermaine Franklin, like I said, was a guy who had a debatable fight with Dillian White, and most people feel he won. And they said, great fight, and they bigged up his, even on my channel, looking at the comments in my videos, looking at the comments on other videos, of the fight itself. And they were all giving Jermaine Franklin a lot of credit and props, just saying he's a solid fighter. I didn't know he could fight that good. All of a sudden, AJ fights him, and he's a tune-up. Robert Helenius fights Wilder. Yeah, this is gonna be a barn burner. And remember, I'm like, man, this is no Super Bowl. there's a reason why they putting him in there with Wilder. You know damn well Robert Helenius didn't earn no fucking right to be in a title eliminator. So basically, stylistically, the way they fight, they expected Wilder to do what he did. Not to mention that they were sparring partners. And hey, listen, Wilder got the job done. That's all. So now when he fights AJ though, all of a sudden now, why you fighting Helenius? Oh wait, y'all forget who just fought him? Oh yeah, that's right. So now you want to attack. Oh, but it took him 8 rounds. So what? So what? It took Floyd Mayweather how many rounds to knock out Ricky Hatton versus Ricky Hatton getting knocked out by Pacquiao, right? But what happened when Pacquiao and Mayweather fought? Yeah, okay, so what? How long did it take? You know, let's compare. Look, Floyd Mayweather put a beating on Shane Mosley, but you know, okay, I got him. I got it. I'm timing. I know. Okay, I got the timing down and everything. Yeah, Shane ain't got nothing. So I'm just going to smack him around all night. Right? Pacquiao dropped him. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao dropped him and they both pretty much beat him. But bottom line, the comparison is always Pacquiao did more damage to his opponent than Floyd did when they fought the same guys. Okay, that does not mean Pacquiao beats Floyd though. And the fight itself showed you. And you know, I got people, yeah, but if you watch the fight in slow motion, like stupid, dumb shit. And then you got Pacquiao's own trainer saying, no, Floyd definitely won the fight. There's never even a question about that. Floyd won the fight. There was no, you know, bad reffing, no bad judges. Floyd won the fight. Yeah, flat out. Freddie Roach flat out said that. You understand what I mean? So, yeah, and that's what I mean. So when you comparing AJ to Wilder and then comparing the Helenius fight, that's what I'm saying. They're comparing the performances. And so, that being said, though, the position Wilder's in right now is, if you don't want to fight Zhang, I would say, hey, to the Saudis, listen, okay, I know y'all want me to fight Zhang. But what about a rematch with me and Parker? You understand what I mean? But if he does that, did he finally make up in it? Now to do it because you say, you know what, this dude beat me. Nah, I don't feel right about that. I need to get my win back. I need to get my revenge back against this guy. Right? That's one thing. But if you decide to do it because you think Parker is less dangerous than Zhang, now that's a duck. You understand? That's a duck. And the fact that you said you have no interest in fighting Parker in a rematch. Now people can, but he could change his mind. Yeah, but if Zhilei Zhang change your mind for you, that's a duck. Now, if you change your mind based on the fact that you really want your revenge, like I said, it depends on your intent. And what matters is because your intentions is also going to basically affect your performance in the ring. If you coming in there for the right reasons and you really want that revenge, you just might get it. You might still lose, but do better than you did in the first fight. But, you know, let's say you get past Parker. Now they come to you again and say, we want you versus Zhang. Now what? You duck him again. You understand what I mean? Then what? So, and that's the thing, man. There are options for all of those guys, man. And for Parker, and hear this, and this is the way it works. I say Zhang beats Wilder. Simple. Let's say whoever they put in there with Parker. If Parker wins again, and let's say Wilder don't take the fight, then they're not going to waste their time with Wilder. It's like, okay, man, we gave you, you know, a multi-million-dollar deal for multiple fights, and here you are trying to avoid fighting the guys who want you to fight. No, we're not going to have that. We need you to fight when we need you to fight. We put these cards on. That's what we want you on. We want the best of the best. Are you one of the best or not, right? So if Wilder takes the fight and he loses, okay, if Parker holds his own, Now the pendulum swings and it becomes, okay, Parker's getting hot again. Let's start to invest in him now. Let's push him. Let's try to get him and AJ. They have a rivalry. Let's try to build him up to where he can, you know, get more interest to where when we do, or if we need to make a rematch between him and AJ. And think, you never know what happens. Sometimes fighters get hurt, things happen. They can't, fulfill for fighting on a certain night, on a certain card, things like that. And then, okay, well, Usyk is out. Let's make it AJ versus Parker rematch. Just saying, because Fury's not going to fight Parker. So that type of thing. And if Parker, Parker's hot right now. Don't be fooled by the Wilder fans that's talking shit. They're not even bringing him up. They're just trying to belittle his win and ignore it like it never happened. But, in the boxing world, not just that little, bomb squad bubble, Parker is hot again. So the idea is to stay hot. And when the best fight the best, man, and you just never know. See, here's the thing. When the best fight the best, that's not a banana peel fight. The banana peel fight is when you're supposed to win. You're expected to win. You got this, and then you lose. That's the banana peel fight. So, and that's why you don't take anybody lightly, because your ego can make you, go in there and lose. So looking at where Joseph Parker is right now, and he's humble, man. Like, he's not a shit talker. He just, he just wants to fight and prove himself in the ring. It does you nothing to sit and talk shit and run your mouth and then go in there and underperform. And I guess he understands that now. And it's like, yeah, okay. I don't remember him being a shit talker. I do remember him being kind of sarcastic when AJ, lost to Ruiz and wasn't looking like himself, even in a rematch. I do remember someone asking Parker a question about, what do you think would happen if he rematch AJ? He kind of laughed, like it was a trick question, like he was, trying to be sarcastic or whatever. But I've never known Parker to really talk a bunch of shit. But it's not necessary. Do what you have to do in the ring. And we'll just see where Parker goes from here. But yeah, man, they're not respecting him as a former champion. They're not showing that same, interest in him like they was doing with AJ and Wilder. Even after he beats Wilder, he's still not being treated that way. So I'm interested to see who his opponent will be. Hopefully they get him back on that same card. Hopefully Wilder takes the fight with Zhang and they put another massive card together. And hey, man, nobody said this shit was going to be easy. But even though I don't care for the AJ and Ngannou fight, it's a money fight. People are going to show interest in it. And I don't give a shit about it. But like I said, you can't applaud Ngannou versus Fury or Ngannou versus Wilder, because remember, Wilder was the first one talking about fighting Ngannou. But then all of a sudden now AJ fights him and it's a bad idea. And we know that's just the AJ haters saying that because they're scared that AJ's going to go in there and knock him the fuck out, where Fury didn't. And then Wilder never got a chance to fight him. But, you can't sit back on your ass and let your ego make you think that people are going to cross their fingers and hope to get a fight with you. No, they're going to bypass you, especially when you never was as big as you thought you were. So, yeah, it's like I said. Now, remember when I said, I don't know why Wilder's talking shit like Joseph Parker's not in the same seat as him. Yeah, y'all understand me now, don't y'all? And that's exactly what I'm saying. You can't take anybody lightly, man. You can't take anybody lightly. You have to, like I said, man, if you was 0-49, I'm going to prepare for you like you're 49-0. Yeah. Anyway, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next one. Drop your comments about Joseph Parker. Where y'all think he go from here? Who would y'all like to see him fight? And if Wilder doesn't fight Zhang, do y'all think that that's the guy they're going to put in there with Parker? Let me know.